Philadelphia Eagles have always been a team defined by physical impact, by that feeling that when the ball is snapped, something heavy is about to happen at the line of scrimmage. And when that identity starts to fade, even for a few games, the fan feels it. You feel it in your gut, you feel it in the silence of the room, you feel it in that comment that never quite makes it out while the game is unfolding. Something felt off. It wasn't just one missed tackle or one bad series. It went deeper than that. Eagles fans know that feeling well. It's that sense that the team is still competing, still fighting, but something essential is missing. That one piece that doesn't always show up in the highlight reels, but holds the whole machine together. When it's gone, everything starts to creak, and that's exactly what's been happening over the last few weeks, even before anyone said it out loud. Because when the defense starts giving up space in the middle, when opposing running games move the ball without real resistance, that's not just a schematic issue, that's a presence issue, a physicality issue, an identity issue. And during that painful loss to the Chicago Bears on Black Friday of all days, the reality became impossible to ignore. The score hurt, but what hurt even more was watching the Eagles' defense get pushed backward, snap after snap. The Bears ran for more than 280 yards. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens when something fundamental breaks down. And on that day, even without an official announcement, even without dramatic press conference, the more attentive fans realized there was a very specific reason behind it all. That reason has a name: Jaylen Carter. Jaylen Carter isn't just another young, promising player. He's the kind of talent that forces opponents to change their game plan before the first snap. When he's healthy, he commands double teams, closes running lanes, redirects plays, and still has the burst to collapse the pocket from the inside. He's the engine of the defensive line, and when the engine isn't right, the car still moves, but it's never the same. What came out after that Chicago game explained a lot. Carter had been playing through injuries since the offseason. Both shoulders were compromised, constant pain, limited mobility, reduced strength. Still, he tried to push through. He tried to help the team. He tried to gut it out. But there's a limit, and that limit was reached. Carter himself explained that during that game, he felt a clear shift in how he had to play. He could no longer anchor consistently against the run. He leaned more into pass, rushing, not by design, but because his shoulders simply wouldn't respond the same way in direct contact. For a defensive tackle, that's devastating. The situation escalated quickly. It reached the point where Carter couldn't even do something basic, a simple push-up. For someone whose entire job is built on strength, leverage, and explosion, that's a massive red flag. There was no more pretending everything was under control. Back in October, Carter described the issue as a little serious. By December, it was impossible to ignore. The solution was an emergency one. Carter underwent multiple PRP treatment, platelet-rich plasma injections, in both shoulders, all of it with one clear goal: to get him back on the field this season, especially with a postseason run in mind. And this part matters for anyone listening. This is not a permanent fix. Carter knows that. He's been honest in saying this could be nothing more than a temporary band-aid, something to get him through the rest of the season. The real solution likely comes in the offseason. Still, after missing 3 games, Carter returned to practice. Tuesday, Wednesday, helmet on, contact back, game rhythm slowly coming together again. He's not 100%. He said that himself. He won't be 100% this season, but he believes he's good enough to contribute, and that changes everything for the Eagles. Carter's expected return comes at a critical moment. The Eagles head into this matchup with a record of 10 wins and 5 losses, traveling to face the Buffalo Bills, who sit at 11 wins and 4 losses. A brutal road test against a physical, aggressive, well-coached team. Buffalo isn't dangerous only through the air. They feature the league's leading rusher this season, James Cook, someone Carter knows very well from their college days at Georgia. Friends off the field, no friendship once the ball is snapped. Those matchups always carry extra fuel. And as if that weren't enough, lining up on the other side is Josh Allen, one of the hardest quarterbacks in the league to bring down. Strong, mobile, aggressive, capable of extending plays and punishing defenses that can't generate consistent interior pressure. Carter has already said he remembers a play from 2 years ago when he nearly sacked Allen, but let him slip away. In his mind, that debt is still unpaid. Carter's presence completely changes the math for the Eagles' defense. Interior pressure makes life easier for everyone. It helps the edge rusher, it helps the linebacker, it helps the secondary. Everything starts up front. Without that, the defense becomes predictable, vulnerable, reactive. But his return also comes with caution. Carter has been clear that he can't get too excited. He's still rebuilding strength, still working every day to stabilize those shoulders. There's a strong desire to be out there, to help his teammate, to compete. But there's also a very real risk of making things worse if the process is rushed. That's the classic December dilemma in the NFL. Every game feels like a playoff game. Every decision carries immediate and long-term consequences. For the Eagles, putting Carter back on the field is a calculated gamble, a bet that even less than 100% Jaylen Carter is better than the alternative. For the fan base, that creates mixed emotion. Relief to see a cornerstone of the defense back, concern knowing he's not fully healthy, hope for immediate impact, fear of a setback. When Carter was out, the defense suffered. That's not opinion, that's fact. Opposing running games found life. Interior pressure nearly vanished. That's not coincidence. That's the direct result of missing a player who tilts the field. This game against the Bills will be a brutal test. There is no easing back in against Buffalo. They will run the ball. They will test Carter's shoulders. They will challenge his durability from the very first snap. And how he responds will say a lot about the ceiling of this Eagles defense moving forward. Inside the locker room, the impact is just as significant. Players respect teammates who play through pain, who sacrifice for the group. That creates quiet leadership. It sets a tone. At this point in the season, when physical and mental fatigue are everywhere, that kind of example matters. But the NFL doesn't run on emotional narrative. It runs on results. And all of this leads to one unavoidable reflection. Does Jaylen Carter's return truly fix what's been wrong with the Eagles' defense? Or does it simply cover up a bigger issue that will have to be addressed sooner rather than later? Maybe the answer starts to show itself this Sunday. Maybe it takes a few weeks. But one thing is clear. With Carter on the field, even at less than full strength, the Eagles become a team that demands respect in the middle again. And that alone changes the game. Before we wrap it up, here's the question that's sure to divide the fan base and light up the comments. Are the Eagles making the right call putting Jaylen Carter back on the field now, knowing he's not 100%? Or is the physical risk simply too high for such a critical player? If you want to keep hearing deep, honest analysis made for fans who truly follow the Eagles closely, drop a comment, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. That support helps the channel grow, strengthens this community, and keeps this space alive for fans who live and breathe Philadelphia Eagles football every single day.